Identifying.
Let's go.
You are about to experience the uncensored conversations, stimulating wit, and the thought-provoking wisdom. Bold, raw, and uncut. Right now, on the LanceScurv Show.
Steve Harvey wants Snoop Dogg, Bow Wow, to respect President Trump. Last week, Snoop Dogg and Bow Wow found themselves in national controversy when Snoop took shots at President Trump in Bad Bad Not Good's music video Lavender. Of course, Trump has already responded with tweets of his own to Snoop, but now Steve Harvey has weighed in on the controversy, and he's claiming that Snoop and Bow Wow need to respect Trump. Bad Bad Not Good dropped their video for Lavender last week, and in the video, Snoop is an anchor man in a world full of people with faces painted like clowns, with one in particular dressed as Trump. Toward the end of the video, Snoop points a toy gun toward the Trump clown's head and fires, releasing a flag under the gun that reads "Bang." Well, of course, Trump didn't take kindly to the video, and he demanded that Snoop apologize. That's when Bow Wow jumped into the mix and sent a scathing tweet to Trump about him and claimed he'd pimp First Lady Melania Trump. Well, Steve Harvey recently weighed in on the controversy and explained that he thinks Snoop needs to be more careful about how he resists the Trump presidency. He also claimed that Snoop's scenes in the video may inspire people to want to kill Trump. Where we have to be smart about this, young brothers and the people who are the truth tellers, is the way that they will bend it and twist it. Here's the problem. If something happens, do you get brought in as a copycat version? The reason that spurred action? Because there's some idiot that's sitting at his house that's willing to carry this out. And you don't want to be tied to that, Harvey said. Harvey did add that he believes that Snoop has creative freedom to do what he wants. He's an artist. He has a right as an artist to do his art in any form, Harvey said. However, Harvey then said that Snoop and others like him need to respect the office of the president. The problem with all this that there's an office in this country called the president, and you have to respect the office. You really do. Whether you want to or not, you have to respect the office. They got laws. I would hate for anything to come down, Harvey said. The radio and TV host then turned his attention to Bow Wow and claimed that his tweets about the Trumps were disrespectful and dangerous. You start messing around with this man's wife, who ain't in this at all. The hell that comes down with messing with this man's family is great. Y'all got to be smart, man, Harvey said. Well, this is multifaceted for me. When I heard this, I couldn't believe it because of who it's coming from. And people say, don't call Steve Harvey a coon. Well, I think that word should really be revived and brought to the forefront. People say, don't use the word coon. People say, don't use the N-word. Don't say nigger. But we have niggers and we have black people. And if we're going to kill a word, or how can we kill a word when there are people out here acting as niggas? And niggas come in all races, right? But black people get, unfortunately, tabbed with that because of the color of their skin. And again, let me just say, if a nigger is a very lazy person who is not about anything, well, that means the so-called American forefathers who so-called built this country, they're the biggest niggas in existence. Because they came and took the land and brought people here, snatched them up and brought them here to do work for them. So who's lazier when we worked? So how can we be niggas, right? But in the modern day use, many of us are living down to that word. Now, before I move on, I want to give you a quick history lesson. Let me click on over here and remind you 2 years ago what Steve Harvey did, what he said in response to a woman who wanted to deal with a history issue, especially here when he said, I don't give a damn about slavery. So he's a card-carrying coon who has a history of coondom. He can do what he wants because really he's only trying to appeal to his listening audience. And what bugged me out is that he had the nerve to say something like this. And I'm going to come on back on to the whole Trump situation, but I wanted to refresh your memory. But it was strange that he said that, and even the young lady who was on the television screen, via satellite with one of the Steve Harvey's representatives asking the question, when he said what he said, it was, oh, awesome. See, that's not someone who I would get down with. Really? That's awesome. That's an awesome answer. And the audience, they were just clapping and loving it, and they were full of black people too. Mostly white, but full of black people. So there are many people who will not like you coming after Steve Harvey because he's the president of Kundum. And I guess he fits or walks arm in arm with President Donald Trump. They fit like a lock and a key. But anyway, listen to this.
Come on in. We have Campbell here, and she has a question for you about some kind of social awkward moments. I'll let her explain.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
So Greensboro has a lot of museums, but it has even more American history buffs. Problem is, I'm not one. Whenever I'm in circles of people talking about history, my eyes get wide and I panic. I pray that no one will ask me about historical topics. So what I do is I just avoid eye contact and I head straight to the bar. But I need a better strategy. What should I do if I find myself in a conversation with a history buff that goes over my head?
I want you to look right at the person and do this right here. They ask you something about the past. You say, I don't really care for slavery.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, yeah.
It works every damn time. That's what I do when I'm sitting around a bunch of socialites and they start talking about the past and stuff. That's my line. I just say it and walk off. I have my little drink in my hand. I just say it and walk off. I don't really care for slavery and walk off and leave them sitting. I don't give a damn if they talking about Christopher Columbus. I don't give a damn if they talking about a treaty. I don't give a damn about an amendment, a bill. I don't care what the subject is. It could be prohibition. I don't care what the subject is. When you get through saying it, and I don't know what the hell you talking about, my favorite line is, I don't give a damn about slavery, and walk off.
Just a refresher course, y'all. Just to let you know how this man is wired. And we're not going to speak on this for long, but I'm going to post a link for this video up also. Even when he walked away after the first time of saying that he doesn't give a damn about slavery, he walked off sashaying so effeminate, okay? And they loved it because here's a black man who is saying that he doesn't give a damn about his Holocaust. And some people say, well, he didn't go through a Holocaust. Yeah, look at this. And he walks away effeminate. He's no threat. He's telling you, I'm not a threat as a black man. I don't care about my history, and I'm just giving it all up to make you all feel easier about the whole thing. That's why he said that about, I don't give a damn about slavery, right? And a black man said it. Now he gave them a pass, white folks a pass to say, well, Steve Harvey said it, and I can say it too. Well, I don't give a damn about Steve Harvey. He is nothing to me. Stop putting these coons up at the forefront of the media and making the people believe that he speaks for us. You have the right to put chocolate icing on feces, but you don't have the right to call it chocolate cake. So because he's in the forefront and pushed and very visible, he doesn't speak for the masses of suffering black people. But I tell you one thing, he wouldn't move his mouth to say, well, I don't give a damn about the Holocaust because the Jews that are in control of his show and on top of him and on him and using him, he's just a hand puppet. He wouldn't be there. He wouldn't last that long. He wouldn't have enough time to move his mouth to even utter another syllable. But understand, we don't get the respect. But of course, he cares about his audience and he has to be that coon. Boycott everything about him. Now let's get on with the whole Donald Trump thing. I read the article. You know the facts. But I mean, like, where was he for the last 8 years when this country and the people in this country and beyond were saying the most scathing things about Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and their children? Where were you, Steve Harvey? You couldn't say anything in defense of them because too much blackness standing up for each other is not acceptable in this country. So you had to sit your coon backside down. They only approve of you of having your kumbaya moments. I didn't say kumbaya. I said kumbaya. Kumbaya, masa, kumbaya. You know I can't sing, but you get the point. You know, and you're talking about messing with people's family. What about your family? Just because you divorce someone doesn't mean that they're not your family anymore. You understand? And you know what I'm talking about. Your ex-wife, Mary. Not too many people are speaking about this. And they need to speak about this and the dirt that you've done. That woman stuck by you, man. I didn't have to be there. People say, well, there's two sides of a different story, whatever have you. But I didn't have to be there. If you watch those videos on YouTube, Google them. Maybe I'll YouTube them. I'm probably going to put a link to one of those too. And once you hit one, it'll pull up the other ones. You did that woman wrong, man. She stuck with you for many years and helped to build you up and sacrificed herself. And you paint her as a fool. And you have gag orders put on her so she can't tell the truth. We all watch these videos. We all know what time it is. But maybe people who don't know need to dig a little deeper. Don't try to put yourself out there as the pinnacle and the epitome and just this pillar of decency. Yes, we all make mistakes. I've broken hearts. I've had bad relationships. I've made bad decisions. But I'm not going to sit up here and defend some white man and put down my own black wife, my own black ex-wife. I've had plenty of drama in my life, but you're not going to hear me come out here and broadcast it. People have feelings, man. Don't you have kids? What if, and I don't know how many kids you have, but I do know you have a son. And you say don't talk about people's families, the death threats that the Obamas received, and the things they said. How do you feel? And you want to give a gag order on your ex-wife, but you got a gag order to not stand up for your own people? It works both ways. I like to look at the angles in a situation, not just the obvious. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And you have a gag order just to save you from giving up half. If you were a real man, even if you don't get along with your ex-wife no more, if she deserves that for putting you and helping to put you in that position. Yes, I said put you in that position. You have the name now, but you used her as a stepping stone, yet you don't do right by her, but you'll go now and tell my brothers that you need to respect the office of the president. And you have a son. What if one of your sons, or I said one, maybe he only has one, I don't know. But I do know you have a son. What if that son was shot by a racist police officer? Or maybe I don't have to say racist. It goes with the package. Prove to me that it's not. Because a lot of these cops, they get silent. So that means they sign off on the actions. But what if he got shot? Are you going to sit down and not move your mouth to say anything in defense of him? Be careful who you tell to respect who. Donald Trump ran one of the most divisive campaigns. The words that he used, the things that he said and insinuated, and you want to respect him all of a sudden. And I don't even agree with former President Barack Obama's politics all the way. No, I don't. And I've been very verbal about it. But come on, man. You didn't have nothing to say when every single day, but you're going to single out and see, this is how shrewd you are. Snoop Dogg and Bow Wow. Younger black men. They're not teenagers anymore, but they represent that category. And you have listeners who are white, who may not have the proximity to that other category of us younger black males. And I said us, I'm 54 soon, so maybe I'm not in that, but I'm strong. And they look at me that way. You see, if I was bent over physically and just defeated mentally and crushed spiritually and just tap dance for them, of course they wouldn't look at me as a threat. But because of the passion that I have, and I'm not afraid to speak out, I will always be forever young. Even after I'm gone off this earth, my presence through what I leave here will keep me a force. And that's how we all have to do. Tell me that you told a Jew that you don't give a damn about the Holocaust, we wouldn't know who you are anymore. Why don't you talk to the young lady, Essie Berry, your ex-wife's dear friend, who didn't have a gag order, but they messed around with her videos? I don't know the whole story, but here on YouTube, you can tell it. And if it's a lie, why don't you speak with them? Why don't you do right by them? But you want these brothers who feel the pain. And yes, they have money. And they didn't have to do that. You know, Snoop Dogg didn't have to do that. That's his artistry, but he didn't have to do that because he could have sat back and said, well, I got money. I'm not going to put something that expresses the feelings of my people. And it's artistry. You go bang, that don't mean you're actually going to do something. You know how many people I beat up in my mind every day? Do I do that? No. I have sense. I know where that would land me. I have control. And that's why we have art. So it could be a pressure valve release to the feelings that we have that we're not going to execute because we know where it would land us. That's why we need art. To express ourselves. So you mean you're telling me we can't express ourselves now? Oh, I'm wicked with the pen and the pencil. And you're going to be the first one I come for, Steve Harvey, and you're not going to like it. And you talking about, oh, you can't go after the man's family. Well, these so-called Americans, you don't spell it with a C, you spell it with 3 Ks. They damn sure went after President Obama, his wife, the first lady, the real first lady, and there'll never be another first lady like her. As beautiful and as sexy and as dignified as she is. And they went after the children. They called Michelle Obama all kind of monkeys. They called her all kind of names and did things online to mess with her features to make her look ugly. You know why? Because she didn't fit the narrative of what they want a black woman to be. Do you think if Michelle Obama had nude pictures like Melania Trump did, that they would let her off the hook? Don't you think that they have already looked all in their past to find one little thing to come at them and couldn't find it? But see, you have a Melania Trump who put herself out there. And people say, well, she's the first lady now. So what? She was Melania Trump then. She's Melania Trump now. And she took pictures with her titties out. Come on now. Ain't nothing wrong with a breast. Now, if somebody snuck the photo, that's another thing. But come on, you put yourself out there. But you didn't know that you were going to be this public figure. Donald Trump talking about he grabs women and, you know, excuse my profanity, but I have to say it this way so it can make some of us cringe. I'll grab them in their private parts. I'll grab them in their pussies. And this is the president? Well, why didn't you tell Trump back then that he needs to respect the office of the presidency? I never heard Barack Obama say anything like that. He said that word in a speech back in 1995 for effect. But he wasn't running for president. And this man, Trump, right, okay. Well, Trump, live up to the office of the presidency. Tell him that. Don't get mad at one of your brothers. No, he's not. You know, Snoop Dogg, really, you're cut from a different cloth. And Snoop Dogg is not perfect. He's an entertainer. Bow Wow's not perfect. He's an entertainer. But go on and let them do what they got to do. But see, you being who you are the attack dog. So somebody had you say that. You just didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to say that, because we all know your words carry weight, not from our side, but from the coon side. And you are the coon president of the United States. Yes, you are. So you have to defend that mentality and go after them to prove your value to them over and over again on those who put you in position to have your show. How do you feel about it, Steve Harvey? No matter how you feel about it, you know you better go out there and say the right thing. You're stuck, buddy. You are in a sinkhole of coonism. You're swallowed up. The bottomless abyss of coonism. You are the president for life. But how dare you come at our brothers for expressing themselves? Yet and still we're being shot down all over the country, all over the world. Black skin is being devalued. I mean, if black skin was the stock market, the crash would be so fast. 1929 wouldn't compare. Devalued black flesh. So now you have to step in as the wise one and have your audience say, Steve Harvey was just so right in what he said to straighten it. You have to respect the office of the president. But why didn't any of these damn people say that all last year and the year before, when Trump was just making headlines with his foolishness? And he's not going to make it through 4 years. Seems like he may not make it through 4 months. I thought he couldn't make it through 4 weeks. But this is not our fight to defend this man who couldn't give a damn about us. I don't care who doesn't like it. When you see me, you can't stop your ears from turning red, because I'm going to say it. I'm going to always speak how I feel, and I'm not afraid to do so. More power to you, Snoop Dogg. More power to you, Bow Wow. And T.I. stepped in and straightened out Steve Harvey also. We need to check ourselves within our community, and I'm glad we have entertainers who are not afraid to speak out on this foolishness when they see it. We need more like that, because we got too many Steve Harvey politicians out here who are coons. We got too many Steve Harvey preachers out here who are coons, who know truth and are afraid to say it because they don't want to lose their lofty position, fleecing the flock and bringing their Jesus money downtown to the politicians who let them stay in that position. All these damn churches we got in our community, and it's all jacked up the same. I'm never going to stop saying it. Call me a crazy man. I'm an artist, and I'm supposed to draw what I see. So as an artist, I'm supposed to speak what I see. And this is really, look, this is 2017, y'all. Early 2017. And we're having a conversation like this, not even just because of the conversation, but a man like, a coon like Steve Harvey has a nerve to get up there and want to tell somebody what to respect, when you can't even respect your own damn woman. You can't even respect your ex-wife. See? So it works both ways. You want to respect this white man's wife, who to me is nothing but a trollop, a whore, a slut. But then your ex-wife who helped to build you and stuck by you and sacrificed so much in her life to get you to where you are, you put a gag order on her. Well, enjoy the gag order that you have. Because anybody who doesn't like what I'm saying, understand this. And I want to get a hands up in the comment section. Tell me, does Steve Harvey speak for black people? And if you believe he does, show your face. Put your name in there. Let me see who you are. Because there's a whole lot of you out there, and don't hide now. You're only a tool for the same oppressor that's been keeping us all down. And yes, you say you don't give a damn about slavery, but you're nothing more than a well-paid slave. And the sad part about it is, you don't even know it.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.